Hi guys, my name is Carrie McEwen and I'm going to walk you through my mind map for my website. So basically, I really wanted to create a digital portfolio for my website because I think that this will really help me stand out to employers and will also show that I am tech savvy, which is really important in this day and age. So when you open up my digital portfolio, I want the first page to be an About Me section. So for this, it will display my name and my contact information, and also it will provide my resume, my letters of recommendation, my teaching philosophy, which for this I am planning on having it written and also having an audio file that has me reading and explaining this teaching philosophy, and also a get to know me section. And for this, I plan on having pictures of me along with some basic facts about me. And I am planning on also having an audio file with this in which I explain why I want to be a teacher and how I got to where I am today. The second section will be based on classroom management, which is arguably one of the most important parts of any classroom. And with this, I will have my researched classroom management plan. This is a 45 well-researched page classroom management plan that really details everything that I hope to do in my own classroom. And because it is 45 pages, I definitely understand that many employers will not want to read through this. So in addition to adding tabs to it that say which section is where, I also want to provide a screencast, a relatively short screencast that has me going through each section and briefly describing what I am planning to do in that section and basically what that section says about me and my classroom management. I also am going to include a parent communication section in this page in which I provide two letters, one that I sent out during my student teaching placement and another that I will be sending out this summer when I teach summer school. And with this, I will also incorporate audio in which I am reading one of the letters to show that I can connect with students and their parents on a more deeper level. I also will include a digital think sheet, and this is basically an editable Google Slides that I can send out to students who are not meeting behavior expectations. And this allows them to write what they are doing and how they are going to fix it. And this allows me an easier way to keep these types of situations on file and make it easy to look back at if needed. I also will provide my attendance Google form. This is essentially a way for students to take their own attendance and lunch count and also let me know how they are doing that day. And for this, I will provide a screencast of me taking the Google form as if I was a student. And I really want to emphasize with this the how are you today portion, because if a student answers okay or worse, then it sends them to another section in which they are asked if they want to talk about it. And this helps to show that I'm really trying to build that family community in my classroom. I also will provide a format of my digital reward system. This is a whole classroom reward system in which things will get added to a slide if students are meeting expectations and getting positive praise from other teachers. Next, I will incorporate a literacy and social studies section, and I paired these together because I feel like they kind of go hand in hand sometimes. And with this, I will have ELA lesson plans and social studies lessons, along with work examples to go along with each of those lessons. So these will be formal lesson plans, and then with the student work examples for each set that goes with each lesson, I will make a screencast in which I discuss what I learned from those student work examples and what is important to be noticed about them. I also will include my ELA 2-week unit plan that I created for my second grade placement. And for this, I taught the students how to do opinion writing, and I will screencast myself going through this very detailed unit plan. And then also I will provide 3 student examples that show growth, and by that I mean that I did a pre-assessment, mid-assessment, and post-assessment for this 2-week unit plan. And by examining 3 students, the same students for each assessment, you are really able to see the tremendous amount of growth that happens within just 2 weeks of me teaching. And I really want to emphasize this because it's something that I'm proud of, because the students really took in what I was teaching. Then I will also have a science and math section, and this will be very similar to this, except the content will be related to science and math. And I will have math lessons and science lessons, just like how I did up here, and student work examples that are screencasted and gone through. I will also have a Glow Week slideshow, and by this I mean that for my 4th grade student teaching placement, we did a Glow Week in which we blacked out the room, got glow sticks and black lights, and made everything glow in the dark and fun lessons that the students really enjoyed. And my part in this was to create science lessons that related to the glow in the dark theme. And I will walk through this idea through this slideshow that I will screencast and show the student work examples that are heavily focused on STEAM. I will also incorporate a screencast of me describing my 4-week fractions unit plan, and this was essentially a very detailed fractions unit plan because I ended up essentially creating the fractions curriculum for Lansingburg, as everything that they were doing before was in a textbook and on paper, which was not good for the hybrid model that they were doing. Then I will also have a section on diversity, which is a very important topic, especially in this day and age. And I will specifically talk about a project-based learning that I did for Black History Month. And for this, we basically were assigned an influential African American and had to create a door that represented them and research them and learn all about that African American. And so I will provide pictures of this door, and then also through a screencast, I will show pictures and discuss how we also went through the entire school and showed different doors, and the students, even at a young age, were able to just learn about all these influential African Americans and expand their minds that way. I will also do a screencast of me going through a Ramadan slideshow, which was basically made for a student who was practicing Ramadan, and she was the only one in the class who was Muslim, so she really wanted to teach her friends about what she was practicing and why this was important to her. So we created her this slideshow to help do this, and it's really interactive, and I definitely want to share that with others. Finally, I will also incorporate a technology use section, and this section specifically is bound to change and update as we continue through this course and I learn more tools to add into the classroom. So right now, what I have specifically for this section is an audio use in the classroom, in which I will use my screencast and my audio file from previous weeks and emphasize why and how I think audio can be used in the classroom. I will also include my Animoto that I used this week, which is based on classroom management, but I'm putting it in this section to show that I will continue to use it for other things besides just the morning routine. I also will provide an example of Pixton and an audio file of me describing what Pixton is and how I've used it to teach students how to storytell and create graphic novels in the past. Lastly, right now I have mind mapping, which I think is a great tool that can be used to help students plan, to write, and brainstorm ideas. These are my ideas for my digital portfolio website. If you have any critiques or suggestions or ideas on what you think I should add, please feel free to let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening.